not Walmart grade value. I mean, they got a good deal or whatever the case may be because it's secondhand and it's still in maybe really good condition. But FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And a lot of times I talk about the stories of people that I've coached and even some of my own personal anecdotes because, again, I have gotten to the point where there are times where fear, uncertainty, and doubt have stopped me. This is why yesterday when I was talking to you guys, I talked about I think it was yesterday, I was talking about the counting system. When I'm approaching something that I need to do that I might be fearful of, I count. And I just 10, 9, 8. And as soon as I start counting down, as soon as I hear those numbers calling, there's a bit of anxiety that's like, oh my God, I'm about to do whatever I'm afraid to do, right? And once I get to 2, 1, boom, pick up the phone, ask the girl out, take the shot, jump off the cliff, whatever the case may be. Um, Now, please, 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 do not use any of this stuff to justify any negative or harmful actions toward anybody. Okay? I am a light. So be the light you want to see in the world and other people. So don't be like, oh man, like, my boss said such and such, and I counted down, Jeff, and woo. No, that's not, don't do that. Okay? What I'm talking about is things that are positive, that are forward thinking, that are of love, that can get you toward to your positive goal. Be the light. So think about this. Now, write down some of the things that you are fearful of. And in understanding the law of polarity, you can't have a positive without a negative, a hot without a cold, or a good without a bad, what the case may be. Nothing is ever good or bad until compared. It's all in the lens that you're viewing it at. Because remember, in life, you don't get what you think; you get what you are. Right? Um, so if I am a person that is always negative thinking, I'm typically going to get a lot of negative thoughts because I'm in harmony with negativity. You hear these people like, man, everything always bad's happened to me, yada yada. Life doesn't necessarily happen to you; it happens through you. But how you react to the thing is what is going to determine. You hear people say life is not what happens to you; it's how you respond to it. Well, to respond to something is to be in control. So you are also then in control of your fear, uncertainty, and doubt. You can fear a lot of things, and that fear never comes to fruition. But sometimes people fear so much stuff and they want to be right so bad. They are wanting the bad thing to happen just so they can say, see, I knew it, I told you so. Why in the world do we fight so hard for our doubts and our limitations? Why? What literally is it getting you? Nothing. It's not getting you any closer to your goals. It's just allowing people to say, yeah, man, you're right. Bad stuff always happens to you. And then you feel a little bit good because somebody validated this negative thought of yourself. Please stop that. It does not promote you whatsoever. It does not bring you in harmony with anything good that you are seeking, unless you are truly seeking more doubt, more limitations. Uncertainty is just not knowing what the outcome is going to be. And it's okay to not know something. Sometimes you can't see that next step until you take the first. But we're so afraid of that, what's around, let me see what's around the corner. I got to know what's going to happen, that we won't even step forward. How can you be used by your calling if you're always trying to be in control of knowing exactly what's going to happen? Now, doesn't mean you shouldn't have an idea. You should have an expectation of what you want. You should have a joyful expectation of what you want your outcome to be. But at the end of the day, it's okay with not knowing exactly what's going to happen sometimes if you got to pick up the phone. Sometimes if you got to start the business. But also, DYOR is what you hear in crypto. Do your own research. Sometimes this uncertainty can be overcome by preparation. You got lucky. Luck is when opportunity meets preparedness, right? So how much time are you spending preparing for the outcome to receive the gift? Are you making room for the gift? Are you making room for the loved one, right? And so, man, when I got married, there was a lot of people, male and female, who came to me and was like, all right, listen, man, I got questions. Like, so how did you find your wife, right? And, you know, prior to me going through the process that I went to and becoming married, I had those same questions. I would go to people in the church who got married, who had been married for a long time, and I'm like, man, hey, listen, how did you know your wife was your wife? Like, how do you know when you're ready to pop that question, right? And the answer kind of disturbed me because it was nothing. It was like, oh man, you'll know. And I'm like, well, but how though? He's like, just trust me, you'll know. And I'm like, nah, brother, like, I thought my ex, I thought the last